Well, here is a video that will go in this very piece of puzzle. And if you look through it, you'll see that it's related to the patent to kill project. And as you understand, there is patent pending on this very system. And at a certain point, it came to this very piece of puzzle. And here, Mr. Russian is trying to give some examples to the patent examiner that the game, that's one of the main questions that patent examiner has. It's all not a game, it's just narrative. So here is an example from the Glass Bead game. It's a TV show in Russia on the channel called Kultura Culture, and it's a game of thoughts and ideas. And to be specific about this patent prosecution case, just to give you a very brief summary. So this piles of papers related to different stages, and you as an inventor, you want to know what the stages are. So the first one, it's a reply, it's called first action came to the original application. And basically the examiner said, well, here is your invention, and he cites each module, and he says it's all anticipated, each module anticipated by Hatter, the guy who invented this. And he gives specific references, and you look at that reference and you compare to what's said by the examiner and in the reference. No relation, or very distant. Well, Mr. Russian wrote an answer to this, and the patent examiner, instead of analyzing every step, Mr. Russian spent like a month writing an answer, reply to each point there. And instead of analyzing the reply, the examiner said, well, the reply is irrelevant because you see here it says response to arguments, that they've been fully considered but they are not persuasive. Applicants argued that he traverses the instant rejection, however, no argument overcoming the instant prior art was discovered. That's it. That's it. By one phrase, 1 month of work is gone. Well, Mr. Russian was really upset, and he went and kind of complained, and he said, well, you cannot do that. And the boss of the examiner told him, you have to resend and give explanations what's wrong. So this is the second final rejection. It's another version of this, but it's completely different in the respect that he dropped that Hatter and that prior art. Instead, he came up with another prior art. And what he did in this response, he copied every claim that Mr. Russian had, like Franklin teaches, and then gives references to the paragraphs. And you again go and compare every reference, and you will see there is very little connection between what cited, specific references, and what's said in claims. So Mr. Russian spent another 2 months answering to this, and guess what? The reply came, and it's now called already advisory action, and it says that, well, your reply, it doesn't matter because you consider these two references separately. That's it. 2 months of work answering is gone. He didn't analyze, didn't say anything about what's wrong in Mr. Russian logic, proving that his instant invention is different from the prior art. And then he spent another 2 months answering this, and this came, or maybe 1 month. Okay, and this came, And it says, still doesn't matter what you say because you just reiterated what was said here. That's it. And now, Mr. Ashin spending another 2 months and $300 because he has to pay for the time extension. And what's going to be the outcome? Most probably the same way. He will say it's all irrelevant what you say in your arguments, and that's it. This is why I'm showing you these people. Okay, because in this game everything is supposed to be right and more or less balanced. And before going in this detail about the game, let me finish that simple phrase. Okay, that the logic is basic. You guys need to come and give your opinions about this part of the game. What Mr. Ashin says versus what examiner says. The irony is that the burden of proof is supposed to be on the examiner. But who is he proving to? To himself. There is no one who judges it, at least at this stage. Yes, it goes through all stages later on and maybe can get to the appeal. If Mr. Ashin finds $1,400 to pay for that stage. And then supposedly appeal could really help Mr. Ashin and say, yeah, you're correct. The money is gone, the effort is gone, and the examiner doesn't care because he doesn't pay for anything of this. It's all paid by Mr. Ashin. So people, if you think that is the right and fair system, you know, that's okay. Because you don't care, it doesn't really concern you in any way. But if you want to play the game of life right, and again I'll show you this, and I'll show you this, okay, then you understand that everything has to be right, including the t-shirt that Mr. Ashin wears now. And you need to guess what t-shirt he has. He had an incredible choice here. Okay, could have taken this or this. Very nice t-shirts. Or this. Or this. Okay. Or this. And you understand that it's all embedded advertisements, right? Or this. Or this. No, he's got another t-shirt. Because it's a game and he wanted to wear the t-shirt for the team, for the project. So you already have the answer, right? It's not that difficult to guess. If you play that game like it's perfectly fine if you don't want to answer the question because the question is trivial. But if you still want to have some kind of interaction with the past, because most probably you people are somewhere in the future, definitely not at this very second, maybe hopefully 1 month away, maybe 6 months away, maybe 60 years away, but sooner or later they will start playing this game. And if you are one of those people and see this, watch this video, come and fix the mistakes, because